gets me every time.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the CYshow. I'm bringing today my very good friend Darren Goldstein and a very good lender. And today we're just going to talk about the process of home buying, the questions you get asked the most, what are the requirements to get a loan, and more. So stay tuned, and very good to have you here, Darren.
Thanks for having me.
So first question, what is the process of getting a loan? How do I get started?
Yeah, good question. So basically what we do is we talk with a client and we go over basic information. So we'll go over job, where you live, and we'll go over credit score, and we'll talk about monthly debt. So it's basically just an initial conversation where we'll talk about where you work, how long you've worked there, what monthly debts you have. So that would be like car payments, credit cards, things like that. And then we talk about credit score. And then what we do is we ask the client, what's important to you? What are you looking for? What are your goals? And then we work together on that. It's an initial conversation. Then we turn into looking at credit, moving on to the next stages.
That's great. And you know what? That's very good, because clients really appreciate when you care what they're looking for, and you want to help them as much as possible. So that's very good. And Darren, what about, I've had a lot of clients that aren't ready right away to buy a house. So how do you give them a plan on what to do to eventually be ready to buy a home?
Yes, so that's a big part. I would say that's even the more important part of the job, because a lot of times we'll talk to clients and they will maybe credit isn't where it needs to be. So what we'll do is we'll work through a plan and help them get to where they need to be. So last month we helped a client raise their score about 60 points.
Oh, wow.
And they were actually able to qualify for a loan. So, and it's no cost, it's just a service that we do to help our clients get in the right position to purchase.
Right. That's very good that you guys give the clients that knowledge to help their credit score. That's awesome. Darren, what about the requirements? I know you touched a little bit on this, but just requirements. What do I need to bring into your office to begin the process?
Yeah, so the requirements are basically we look at a 2-year work history at any time in your work career. So it doesn't necessarily need to be 2 years to the date. We just look for a 2-year work history, current job, and then what we'll do is we'll look at bank statements, W-2s, 1099s, things like that. But essentially that's what it is. We'll take work, employment, we'll run credit, and then we'll be able to kind of let them know what they're looking at as far as that goes.
And I'm sure you get this question asked a lot. How long does the process take?
Yeah, so the process is actually fairly quick. So I mean, the phone call is 5 to 15 minutes or so. Sometimes it goes longer if the client has more questions. But really, it's a quick conversation over the phone. We would then run credit after that. Mm-hmm. After we run credit, we plug all the information verbally into a system, and we can get an approval right away, within minutes.
Right away.
However, the more important part of that is, and how quick it is dependent on the client. So what we'll do is after we finish that conversation, I'll send out an email. And that will be asking for those things, tax returns, bank statements, documentation. They send that within a day, we're ready in a day, less than that.
Wow.
So it's based on that.
So pretty much as long as people have everything in line, it can be like this.
Absolutely.
That's very good to know, and that's very good information, because I think there's a very big misconception that the home buying process is this very long and process of.
Yeah. Our goal with your clients and with our clients is to give them the best experience possible. We know that purchasing a home can be one of the most stressful experiences in your life. So our job as living and breathing real estate is to help our clients to take that away from them and make the experience smooth and easy, and communication, the whole way, as we do with our clients.
Right. Yeah, of course. And Darren, another question I'm sure you get asked all the time: how much can I afford to buy a house?
Yeah, so great question, and we do get, that's probably the main question that we get asked. So, and that's largely determined on income for job. So what we'll look at, and I think we're going to touch it in a later series, is W-2 income as opposed to 1099 income. So working for someone as opposed to working for yourself. But anyways, what we do is we look at income and then we take monthly debts. So that would be, like I said, credit card payments, student loans, everything revolving. So we take income against their debt and then we'll basically work that and we can come up with a monthly payment that they qualify for. Now sometimes that payment is more than what they want and sometimes they're not exactly where they want to be. So the part of planning, of mortgage planning that we do with our clients is kind of helping them, if they're not in the position they want to be in, what we'll do is we'll take a look at consolidating debt or helping them put together a plan to get to where they want to be. Every $50 worth of debt is going to be about $10,000 in sales price. So you eliminate a $200 car payment, within a year or 6 months, you qualify for $40,000 more house.
Wow.
So it's not about just getting someone approved and telling them this is what you qualify for. It's really working through the plan with them, knowing what they want, and helping them get there. Really,
Right.
that's what it's
Wow,
about.
that's very good information. And then a lot of people are curious, what kind of makes up the mortgage payment? Is there going to be additional fees? I think people want to know the exact amount. I mean, of course you can't give me an exact amount right now, but what's in the mortgage payment?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of times, that's another thing we go over. So the mortgage payment is made up of a principal and interest payment. So there's interest. Interest is your interest rate is largely determined on your credit score and the down payment that you're going to be putting down. So principal and interest. So you're paying interest, you're paying principal of the loan balance. The second part is going to be property tax. So certain areas have higher property tax rates. So one thing we work through with the client on that is you find a home you'd like to show the client. We will look up that home, find out what the property tax payment will be so we can get exact numbers. So we actually can do that.
Awesome.
So after that, you have homeowners insurance, which owning a home, it is required that you carry that. Usually, depending on the property, you're looking at somewhere between $50 and $75 or so. And then there's mortgage insurance. So anytime you put less than 20% down on a home, you are required to have what's called mortgage insurance, which we can cover later on in the series, but that's another part of the payment. And there's ways we can work through that as well. And the last one would be, HOAs, homeowners insurance. So certain areas have homeowners associations, and so all those parts make up the payment. And what we like to do is just explain all of that to our clients in very simple terms so they can understand it as they're looking for homes.
Yeah, that's awesome because a lot of people complain, when they get a cable service or internet service, that they just get these additional fees that they don't even know about. So it's good to know that everything that makes up the mortgage payment.
Yeah, what we always like to say is no surprises, only good surprises, but no surprises.
Of course. And Darren, last question, for somebody who's renting right now, they're probably paying down somebody else's mortgage. What can you tell them that the home ownership benefits are for them if they were to purchase a home?
Yeah, so great thing to think about, purchasing a home. So purchasing a home, a lot of times people think, well, my rent is $1,700, so if I bought a home, my payment would be way more. And that's not true in all cases. Sometimes, with down payment assistance programs and things like that, we can get folks into a home for, if not the same rent payment, maybe a few $100s more than what they're paying in rent. And what that does, the benefit of that is owning that home is a forced savings account. So your monthly payment is going back to you essentially. You're paying the lender, but that's a forced savings account. You're also gaining equity on the home. So if you buy a home and appreciation, your home gains $15,000 a year, market value, you've just made yourself $15,000. Where rent, you're paying someone else's.
Yeah.
Also, there's tax benefits like writing off your mortgage interest and things like that.
That we'll go over in a later series.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Very good information, Darren. I'm very thankful to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm going to have his contact information here in the video. If you have any real estate needs on getting a loan, getting approved, make sure to contact Darren and he'll be able to help you. And I hope you guys like this show. I hope you guys like the content. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and also, me and Darren are gonna keep working on a series that's gonna go deep in on all the information you need to know when getting approved and the home buying process and a lot more stuff. So stay tuned. Later.